tonight on the shots fired at a gun range used by FIU police. We first told you about an officer who allegedly lost his temper and fired shots while surrounded by other officers.
Now CBS4 has learned a second FIU officer was involved in a similar incident. As CBS4's Natalia Zaya discovered, the police department that runs that gun range didn't know about it until we called them.
One of our FIU police officers discharged his firearm in the air, not in part of a training exercise.
FIU North Campus police officer Joe Mesa fired shots into the air, surrounded by more than a dozen fellow officers while they all trained at the range. Officer Mesa was relieved of duty while Internal Affairs investigates.
I recognize how serious this is, and I understand the concern that comes out of this incident, and I can assure you we do not tolerate this type of behavior. This just seems to be an isolated action by an isolated individual.
But CBS4 News has learned another FIU officer improperly fired a gun that same morning. Roughly 40 minutes after Officer Mesa angrily fired shots, sources say this FIU officer, Sonia Meneses, fired her gun unintentionally while cleaning it. That bullet went into Officer Mesa's backpack.
I'm with CBS4 News. I'm just trying to speak with you about the incident that happened at the range the other day.
What I'm hearing is this was purely an accident. Your situation was an accident.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to speak to you right now. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I spoke off camera with Officer Mesa about what went wrong here at the shooting range that day. He admits he fired some shots into the air. He says he was frustrated with himself. It's a decision he now regrets. And he expressed concern that Officer Meneses' incident was not made public until now. He says he was standing just a few feet away from her and could have been hit. An FIU spokesperson would only confirm there was an accidental discharge of a weapon. But that's more than FIU police apparently told the Miami-Dade Police Department, which owns and runs the gun range. MDPD only learned about it when CBS4 News called them for comment. We asked FIU's president his thoughts on Officer Mesa's incident, and he expects a full investigation and says he has confidence in the department.
They are very highly trained, and both of my kids went to FIU. And it's a very safe campus.
Once the IA investigation is over, the state attorney's office and Florida Department of Law Enforcement will look into Officer Mesa's case. As for Officer Meneses,
I'm working, you're distracting me.
She remains an active member of the FIU police force. Natalia Zaya, CBS4 News Tonight.